Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Babu. Have you heard the pastime of Lala Babu in Vrindavan? Lala Babu was a very rich merchant, very rich man. And then he decides to take up spiritual path. So he wants to take Diksha. So the Guru says, okay, first you have to become humble. So he says, go and beg, from different houses. So he goes and begs from different houses. So he's becoming humble, right? Because such a rich man, people used to come to him for loan, and now he's going from house to house doing madhukari. But even though he begged and did madhukari and served, his Guru said, you're not so qualified yet. It will take some time for you to take Diksha. And he was wondering, where am I making mistake, And then after a couple of months, he realized, oh, yes, I know where I made a mistake. He said, I didn't go for begging to that person's house who was my, rival. In business, sometimes there is a rival, So he was like his rival, and he was a little reluctant. He was begging from other people, but he said, how can I go? We used to have so much fighting, And then finally on that day, he goes to that rival's house. And when the servant of that, rival informs, hey, Lala Babu has come, he gets shocked. Really? He became so humble that he came to my house for begging. Then this person comes out and he gives him alms. And that day when Lala Babu, goes back with his bhiksha, whatever he has done, the Guru himself walks into his hut and said, Lala Babu, I'll give you initiation. Sit down, So Guru understood, okay, now completely humble, completely has given up that last thing also he had in his mind, that how can I, go and beg to that person who was my enemy, So like that, we see that being humble, being tolerant is maintaining the right atmosphere in the heart so that we can do chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, right? Why is it so important to be humble? If you see in the Chaitanya Charitamritam, this Leela comes where Lord is preaching and traveling everywhere. Everywhere Lord is received very nicely. But in Varanasi, because it's a hub of Mayavadis, Lord is lamenting that I have come with a product nobody wants to buy, nobody is taking it. So Chandrasekhar Acharya, Tapan Mishra, they're all there and they're just wondering what to do, how to spread, because everybody is a Mayavadi there and they're not taking it, receiving it so nicely. So there is this one Maharashtrian Brahman. He goes to Prabodhananda Saraswati and he goes and glorifies Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like this, he's like that, golden avatar, when he chants, tears come out and all. So Prabodhananda Saraswati simply says, oh, that Chaitanya is a magician. That Chaitanya is a magician. So now this Maharashtrian Brahman, he comes back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he says, I'm feeling very bad. I glorified you so much. I was expecting that at least if he would say, okay, this Krishna Chaitanya is a magician, my work would have been done. At least one time he would have said the name of Krishna. But he didn't say Krishna Chaitanya. He said, this Chaitanya is a magician. So I'm feeling very bad. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says one very, very important point. He reveals. He said, if somebody has a contaminated heart, if the senses are contaminated, they can't chant Krishna's name. Now, what is that famous example? Srila Prabhupada talks about an old man. The lady is asking, at the deathbed, why not you chant? And he says, can't, I can't. He says can't, but he will not chant, So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, unless and until somebody has a pure heart, somebody's heart is not contaminated, they can't chant. Because to chant Krishna's name, you have to be in sattva mode. And to be in sattva mode, you have to have two qualities, humility and tolerance. That is why it's very important to be humble and tolerant. If we are humble and tolerant, only then we can chant Krishna's name. Then only it's possible to chant. And we want to chant Krishna's name, and that's the only way we can go.